Mackenzie Johnston with Cattle News Central, bringing you your November 17th cattle industry headlines. Brought to you by Ag Advisors. PRF season is here, and their advisors are educated and ready to help you mitigate weather risk. Their state-of-the-art technology and superb customer service ensures that your policy is in good hands. The PRF deadline is quickly approaching on December 1st, so if you would like more information, do not hesitate and reach out to an advisor today. Ag Advisors, with you no matter what the weather. Also sponsored by Circle 5 Cow School. They host remote weekly classes all throughout the Midwest so you can learn to preg check your own cows. To view their schedule, head on over to www.circle5cowschool.com. That is the number 5 in there, or you can go ahead and just give them a follow on Facebook. According to Reuters, on Tuesday, Tyson reported a double-digit jump in sales and earnings in their fiscal fourth quarter, which ended on October 2nd. According to CEO Donnie King, the company delivered a record performance in their beef segment and experienced share gains in their retail core business lines. In the fourth quarter, Tyson recorded net income of $1.36 billion just in the fourth quarter. If we look back to 2022, that number was only $654 million. So quite a jump from one year to the next, just in the fourth quarter. During the fourth quarter, the price of beef increased almost 33%, while pork and chicken prices increased 38% and 19%, respectively. Tyson is currently implementing a productivity program that will save them $1 billion by 2024. One part of the program will be an investment in artificial intelligence and other technology to ensure its shipments are optimally loaded, and that will lead to lower freight costs for the company. Tyson has also reported that they expect fiscal 2022 revenue to be above market estimates, thanks to rising meat prices and improving demand from restaurants, since they are now fully getting opened after the pandemic. Tyson was originally expecting sales somewhere between $49 to $51 billion for fiscal 2022. But as of Monday, they expect this estimate to exceed these enormous revenue expectations. So it's fair to say that Tyson is doing well, as I'm sure all the other large meat packers, they are thriving also. On Monday, RCALF sent a letter to Ag Secretary Vilsack stating that the organization agrees with NCBA's request to suspend all imports of fresh beef from Brazil to the United States. I think this might be the only time that I ever get to say that NCBA and RCALF agree on a situation. RCALF shares the same concerns as NCBA regarding Brazil's failures to provide timely notice regarding outbreaks of BSE. But RCALF's letter goes a step farther than NCBA's letter. Besides just asking for the suspension of fresh beef, RCALF is seeking an immediate suspension of imports of all beef products, fresh and pre-cooked, pending a U.S. investigation into Brazil's food safety system and vet diagnostic laboratory system. RCALF believes that this more expansive suspension is needed because beef-related heat processes are not capable of inactivating the BSE prion, which leads to BSE cases in humans. Brazil's long line of reporting violations prove that government-led sanctions have not served their purpose to change Brazil's practices, according to RCALF. But nothing can set Brazil on the straight and narrow. This is who they are. They have always been corrupt. They have never been transparent. They've never been about safety. This is who Brazil is. RCALF is suggesting that Vilsack should help Congress pass the recently introduced MCOOL beef bill. RCALF's letter states that the MCOOL bill will empower consumers to exercise a market-based approach to ensuring that foreign beef is produced under the same high standards as required in the United States and expected by U.S. consumers. More than ever, we need mandatory country of origin labeling. We talk about it a lot on this update with all the beef we are importing, and I do not agree with that, all the beef we import here into the United States. But if we're going to do that, we sure as heck need mandatory country of origin labeling in place. There's no doubt about that. And then also, I think it is ridiculous and all of you out there know it. I made it clear about 2 years ago. I think it is ridiculous that we opened up our borders to Brazilian beef imports back in February of 2020. Secretary Perdue came in and he let those imports come back into the United States after they were shut off back in 2017, I believe. And we should have never opened up our borders again to Brazilian beef. Why would we ever open up our borders to a corrupt country, to a country that has been known to hide things? They've never been about safety, like I talked about. They've never been about safety, and their track record on BSE is pitiful, absolutely pitiful. It is appalling that our USDA was okay with opening our borders. And it's also appalling that they just didn't shut things off right away from Brazil when we did hear about these 2 cases of atypical mad cow disease that were reported here in the last month or so down in Brazil. It is setting our cattle industry up for a nightmare. And the chances of it actually getting here, they're pretty low. But if you think about if they get here, how that will tear our industry apart, how it will totally kill our markets, how it will kill consumer confidence, it's a no-brainer, an absolutely no-brainer that we do not need Brazilian beef imports. According to Shaylee Stewart with DTN Progressive Farmer, the latest data from USDA for the week ending November 6th, 2021, that data shows that fresh beef imports from Brazil totaled 33,631 metric tons, which is 19,447 metric tons more than what the U.S. had imported last year at that time. BSE hit the beef market pretty hard here in North America back in 2003 when both Canada and the United States reported single cases of mad cow disease. Once the news broke, there was immediate concern throughout consumers and then also throughout our cattle industry. U.S. cattle prices plummeted in the weeks following once BSE was discovered here in the United States. Nearby futures fell by more than 15% at that time. The markets just fell out of bed. According to the CDC, from 2003 to August of 2018, there have been 26 BSE cases in North America, 6 here in the United States and 20 up north in Canada. The last time one was found here in the United States was back in 2018. The CDC has reported that the risk to human health from BSE in the United States is extremely low, but current concerns over BSE cases in Brazil are heightened, to say the least. And that is understandable because our cattle industry has finally started to see dividends trickle down to U.S. feedlot owners and U.S. cattle producers, according to Stewart. The cattle industry has experienced black swan event after black swan event in recent years. It has been a reoccurring theme. It's almost like we're just waiting for the other foot to drop to see what can go wrong next. So of course, it's no wonder that there is apparent concern over BSE on another continent and how that situation might affect us domestically. The cash cattle market has had to go toe-to-toe with packers to gain every dollar that we have successfully gained. So again, it's no wonder that those within the cattle industry, feedlots, all of us, we want to see an end to Brazilian beef imports because it feels like we finally have somewhat of a stable cattle market. There is no need to put that in jeopardy. If you don't already follow Shaylee Stewart with DTN Progressive Farmer, you need to do so. She runs cattle market news. She does a fantastic job of recapping the markets from the week before, does a great job looking out for the future of the markets, giving her thoughts and just throwing the facts out there. She does a great job. So if you're not already following her, be sure to do so. That is all I have for you guys today. I hope everyone is having a great week. Have yourself a wonderful Wednesday. I'll see you later.